Welcome to the ANEW Insight Podcast, empowering and inspiring your journey to optimal health. Hosted by Dr. Supatra Tovar, clinical psychologist, registered dietitian, fitness expert, and author of Deprogram Diet Culture. Rethink your relationship with food, heal your mind, and live a diet-free life. I follow my guests' journey to optimal health, providing you with the keys to unlock your own wellness path. Tune in and evolve with us. Hello and welcome to the ANEW Insight Podcast. I am Dr. Supatra Tovar, and I am so excited to have Executive Director, Life Coach, and Nonprofit Leader, Dr. JC Montenegro with us today. Dr. JC, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you for this opportunity to share who we are and what we do for the community.
I can't wait to learn more. I'm going to read a little bit about Dr. JC and then we'll get right into the questions. Dr. JC Montenegro is an executive director, life coach, and nonprofit leader with over 20 years of experience in youth development and community empowerment. Currently serving as the executive director of the Salesian Family Youth Center in Los Angeles, he has led the organization through significant challenges, securing funding, and increasing donor engagement to ensure long-term sustainability. Dr. Montenegro holds a PhD in sociology and an MBA with specialized training in youth ministry. He has also played a pivotal role in international social initiatives, including developing a strategic plan for Red America Social Salesians and launching volunteer programs in the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Tijuana. Bilingual in English and Spanish, Dr. Montenegro is dedicated to mentoring the next generation of leaders and creating sustainable nonprofit solutions that foster personal growth and community development. Welcome, Dr. JC.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So excited to find out more about what you're doing, helping youth in especially today's climate after COVID and in this political climate. You have an amazing career, and you have dedicated this career to supporting disadvantaged youth. Share with us what sparked your passion for working with youth.
I was one of those troublemaker kids. So when I was a child, I actually have dyslexia. I suffer dyslexia. And that, in a sense, growing up, kept me away from the normal things. You know, you need to be a good student, you have good grades, and everybody will be happy with you. But when you don't fit in the academic system per se, you feel that rejection, you feel that you don't belong to something. And in a sense, thanks to the Salesians and the educational system that they have, I was able to find myself through an experience that I did in the middle of the Amazon jungle. So I went to the Amazon jungle as a teacher when I was 18 years old, as a volunteer missionary.
Wow.
And that changed my life, because from that moment, I understood what it meant to study. I understood that I was good for something. And thanks to that is when I started, in a sense, trying to give back. So what am I doing here is basically doing what someone else did it for me, is that gratification. And I think so many times in our culture, we are not grateful. You know, there are people who help us out and then we forget about where we come from and, you know, we live our life and we're happy ever after. But I think there is something beautiful when you actually are giving back, you know, realizing where you come from, what are your roots, and who were the people who were there to help you out to get out of it, and how you can actually give back to others who are in the same situation that you may have.
I love that. Do you have one particular mentor that you're very, very grateful for?
I think there is a whole system, and that is the beautiful thing about the Salesians. It's not one person who has made the difference in your life, but it's a combination of people who have been there and made the difference in your life. Like, for example, when I was a little kid, I think my dad has a lot to do because he has walked with me through my whole life, my dad and my mom. But in those moments where my dad and my mom didn't know how to deal with me, when I was 12 years old, 13, 14, there was this priest whose name is Antonio Hernandez, who was helping me at that process. And then when I became 18 years old and I went to the Amazon jungle, there was this priest, his name is Domingo Botasso, who was there accompanying with Silvio Broseghini. And then when I got out of the mission, there was Juan Botasso, who also accompanied me. So in a sense, the system, the environment is what helped me to grow. And that is why it's so important. I think there is a saying in Africa, that to raise a child, you need a tribe. And it's so true. There's not only one person who is making the difference, but it's a combination of everybody who is supporting the child to become the best that they can be.
Well, it sounds like, and they also say it takes a village. It sounds like the entire village or the tribe was there for you, and you've created a tribe of your own or a village of your own to help the next generation forward. So what do you think are the most pressing challenges that disadvantaged youth face today, especially in light of the pandemic and what's happening politically?
I think one of the biggest challenges that we are suffering right now is social media. I mean,
Yes.
the fact that young people have unlimited access to anything and everything that they can imagine is unbelievable. The fact that many of these social media platforms per se, they're addictive. If you really think about it, I mean, for adults, I can speak about myself. Sometimes I will be in these social medias, like scrolling up and down, and I can spend hours. Imagine someone who is 12, 13, 14, 15 years old.
Yes.
And this is really interesting. You can ask any young person right now, what is the average screen time that you have, that the phones give it to you? And many young people have 7, 8, 9, 12 hours of screen time. And you wonder, where do they get those hours if they're in school, and why not? Well, sometimes they don't sleep well. So
Yes.
I think part of the problem, and this is not only for disadvantaged youth, this is actually for every single young person, is the fact that we have given too much freedom, in my opinion, in the sense of social media. When the child is in the restaurant, walk to any restaurant, and there is a child 4 or 5 years old. If they're quiet, it's because they are in the tablet.
Yes.
And I think, to me, that is the major issue that I realize now. And how can we get them out of it?
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that is not only that you are addictive to this, but developmental, you don't develop in the same way. Like, for example, when I was a little kid, we were outside playing, talking to friends, making sure that we deal with bullying or how they treat each other and why not. Now these kids are on their phones. Their ability to communicate, their ability to speak, their ability to share their feelings has happened to me that many times I'm not able to find out what is going on with them when they text me. How are you feeling? They cannot put into words, but when they text you, they can text you how they feel.
Yes.
So to me, I think those are critical